today I'm going to talk about the Canon A1. So the A1 was introduced back in 1978 and was made until 1985. It was only made in this color, black, and it was targeted to the people between consumers and professionals, so a little bit in between. And this was the first SLR camera with program mode. Okay, let's start at the top. Here at the left, you have your ASA wheel. To turn that, you press this little button in here, and you can simply just turn like that. Here you have a film rewind lever, pretty standard. Here is your exposure compensation dial, so you can have them one, or you can have go down half a stop, 1/4 a stop, go up 2 stops and 4 stops of exposure. Here you should have a switch to turn off the LED screen here, so I can just quickly show you. See the light in there? Flip it here. Oh, see, no light. This button up here, this is a battery check. You see this blinks, and I think this actually has low battery, and also the screen in here also lights up. At the top here you have your flash hot shoe, and then here you have your shutter speed dial, which right now is at P, as in program mode. It has speeds from 1/1000 of a second all the way down to 30 seconds and bulb. It's a flash sync speed at 1/60th of a second, and if you turn this here, this dial, you see it switches to AV, aperture priority, and you can change your aperture here. So let's say you put it at 11 and you switch this with 11, then the camera will choose a shutter speed for you. Same here, if you go here and you change, let's say you do 1/250th of a second, the camera will tell you what aperture you use. And then you also of course have program mode, which chooses both aperture and shutter speed by itself. Then you have to have the lens on this A mode right here, otherwise it won't work. So yeah, pretty neat feature. Here you have your, see if you can see it down there, your frame counter window. Here is your light for battery check, but also for your self timer. Moving on, here is your film and lens lever, and here is your shutter lock. So A is just open, you shoot. L, now it's locked. This is a 2-second timer. See, this will blink. And this is a 10-second timer. Okay, let's go to the front of the camera. Here you have a little slide up protection, so you won't accidentally change your speeds. Here you have a little guard for the battery compartment here. This is a bit flimsy, so be careful. This tends to break. This camera takes a 4 LR44 battery, and it goes in right there. Put this back on, just slide it on, and screw. Here's your lens. To remove the lens, you have a little button here on the lens, because this is a FD, right? Yeah, this is FD lens. This also takes FDNs, FL, and even some R lenses, I think. But I think the older lenses don't have the same, you lose some of the features, especially like program mode. Yeah, and here's pretty standard. So let's put this back on. Here here you have your depth of field preview. So if you push the button like this and press it in, you see now how the aperture stops down. That's to get your depth of field. To release it, press this button right there. It goes right back. Here is actually your, let's see, this is your exposure preview switch. So basically what it does is this exact same thing as this. When you hold this down, you will get, let's see if I can show you. Okay, down there. Yeah, that's what the speed is and what the aperture you need. As I'm doing by holding this button down. If I hold this down as well, you get the same effect. But then you have this button up here. Smaller one. This is your memory switch. So what you can do is, let's say you're exposing for subject and you have a very bright background. You expose for subject, you're holding this button. Let's see now if I can, if I go program mode. 1/90 second, 1/4. If I hold this in, this will get locked. So it won't change, even if I get a finger in here. But if I release the button, oh, you see it switches. Obviously what you can do is you can lock down the exposure. Let's see if I can have a better preview here. Oh, never mind. No, but it locks the aperture, so, or it locks the exposure combination. So that's a pretty neat feature. And here's your PC sync port, flashes. And that's about it here. Here at the back you have a little toggle to close off any light in the viewfinder. If you're doing, for example, long exposures and you don't want any light leak for the viewfinder here. At the bottom here you have your tripod socket and you have your film rewind button. Here is your motor coupler. It's supposed to have a little tab on here, but mine is gone. And yeah, let's open the film back and put some film into it. To open the film back, pop this up and open it. This is a cloth shutter and it's also fully electronic, so it won't work without batteries. Okay, so let's load the film, starting by putting the knob down here. I like to lock the film in place. Then you see these slits here. Simply just put the film into these slits here. And then advance. Let's see. Yeah, my batteries run out though. So that's too bad. Basically what you do though is that you put a tab in here, advance the film until it catches up, close the film, and keep on advancing. And that's how you load film. Then to take it away, to rewind the film, you push in this button here. And that unlocks this spool here. And you start rewinding the film like this. And then you can take it out. Okay, so let's give this a camera score. Starting with price. These are a bit on the expensive side. I think I got this one for 120 euro, like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. So they're a bit pricey compared to the AE ones and those cameras. So price-wise, this can get a 5 out of 5 because you have a lot of features, but I bought a Nikon FE2 for the same amount of money. I think that has more useful features, like a high shutter speed. but still, this is a great camera, many good features. So yeah. Okay, and then we have build quality. I would say this is a somewhat, or not so, a bit better built than the Canon A1. It feels more robust, it feels more heavy in a good way, and all the dials look good and they function, and yeah, it works. Also, just to tell you that I forgot about this, but this is your double exposure button. So if you press it down and you advance the film, you see it will only advance the shutter and not the film, so you can take a double exposure. Okay, so build quality, I'm gonna give this a 8 out of 10. And then we have feel. This camera actually feels really good in your hand, especially with this little extra plastic here. It really fits nice in your palm. It weighs a good amount of weight, it doesn't feel flimsy, and it just shoots good. Though this camera has the famous squeaky shutter, which you might have heard, which happens to a lot of these cameras, which is a bit annoying. Basically, the grease inside the shutter box is dried up and old, so it squeaks. But except for that, I will give this a 8 out of 10 in the field. And I will print some pictures here, these example pictures. And yeah, thanks for watching.